everybody. We are here with you to count down to the weekend. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, and this is another episode of A Blind Guy,
His Wife,
Their Life Live. We are here for you every Wednesday, Thursday,
I'm already
Friday,
dancing, Corey. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
At 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I was trying to trick you because, I was dancing because I'm excited that we are counting down to the weekend. We are getting you there. We're almost there. And I was trying to steal your thunder.
Yeah.
11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what?
Now, on this broadcast, we expose you to people and interesting places that we've gone throughout our personal and professional lives.
Hold up, you hit that telephone. Let me tell you, our studio is popping. People have questions. Today, guys, you get to ask us questions.
We are your featured guests today. So you're going to get to ask a blind dude and his wife. You can ask any question.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, we didn't even do the proper intro. Oh wow, Corey. So look, we got to introduce ourselves, and then we'll show our intro video, so that way they know like who we are, what we're all about. We got a brand new intro video.
Yes, thanks to Real Talk from Intabi.
With Intabi.
Real Talk with Intabi.
Yes.
All the way in South Africa. So
when we introduce ourselves, guys, that when we tell you about our special guest, that's what you'll see. All
right. So today we have our special guest today, and we're going to bring them in to say good morning to you. Coming all the way live from a special intro video created by Real Talk with Intabi, IL Designs.
Yes.
It's Corey.
And LaQuita Marie.
It's another episode of A Blind Guy.
His Wife.
So they're your featured guests, yours truly and yours truly. We also are going to have a special plant-based treat today. We have a plant-based treat. You want to give them a sneak preview?
I might give them a sneak peek at the plant-based treat because, every day we want you guys to eat more fruits and vegetables. We're pretty sure you're getting your grains and your beans and all of those good things, your nuts and seeds, but it's really important that you also get your fruits and your vegetables. And how often, Corey?
They need to eat fruits and vegetables at every meal. We want you to get 25 fruits and vegetables in every week. So that's
Are you giving them a hint at our 25 for 25? Anyways, I'll give them a sneak peek at the plant-based treat.
I would think it would be bland and no taste at all, but this is has a great flavor.
That's it. That's all you get, guys. If you can recognize that food on the plate, hey, you know what the plant-based treat is. That is a favorite. So it's a much requested plant-based treat. So we're sharing it with you today.
And don't forget, this broadcast is member supported by viewers like you. You can always support this broadcast by simply bum rushing the buttons.
You know what that means, guys. The best way to support this production is really hitting the like button. That helps us out so much. So when you do that, it
helps other people find the information because YouTube shares it with other people.
Absolutely. So scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen, you can see www.blindguyhiswife.com. So when you go there, that is how you can support this production. You'll get to a screen. I'll pull it up. I'll share it with you right now. So that way, when you get to that screen,
you can click the green coffee cup. Click it.
So you scroll down and it says, buy me a coffee, support the production, click the green coffee cup. There it is. You click it, a little widget opens up and you can click 1 coffee, 3 coffee, 5 coffees, or you can type in 25 coffees or whatever you like. It shows how you're supporting this production. You can leave your name, a nice message. You can see who else has supported this production. And of course, on this site, there's other information about who we are. It lets you know that you're at the right place. Corey's eyes don't work. He has a wife. They celebrate life. So it lets you know who we are. So definitely support the production. We'd appreciate it. So Corey, any other announcements for our, for today's topics?
We gotta greet our viewers that are in the room with us today. Let's greet some of those. Then we'll talk about going to our 5-minute story, and we'll start our Ask a Blind Guy Q&A session.
All right. So Real Talk with Intabi is saying, looking forward to this episode.
All right. Real Talk with Intabi all the way from South Africa. Go check out her YouTube channel, Real Talk with Ntabi. She's a great web designer. She's very talented and she's very energetic. She gives you a lot of energy.
Yeah, she always has some mugs. So I'm sure she's checking out your coffee mug, Corey. She drinks lots of coffee, sometimes tea, and sometimes bubbly, sparkly things as well. Alicia Miller says, good morning, enjoy your day.
Alicia Miller coming to us from Cooking with Greens.
Yes, that's Cooking with Greens was a guest, and that's how we found Alicia Miller, or how she found us. Hey there, David Hunt says, first from Massachusetts.
David Hunt, first from Massachusetts. Check out David Hunt's YouTube channel. David Hunt does morning meditation with music and song.
I was there this morning, guys. He also takes requests. He will let you know what song is playing and all of those good things. And, I wonder if he's going to do a vocal show today. We have a surprise for you today, though, David Hunt. Absolutely, we do. Shine Bright says, Grand Rising, fam.
Shine Bright. Whoa, Shine Bright slipped in the 4th place today. You used the first in the place. Yeah, she slipped. She slipped. She fell. She plummeted.
She is slipping. She falls down.
But she got the sunshine, though.
Yeah, it's bright out there. She's doing her job. Hey there, Deborah Green. How are you doing today?
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
Deborah Green is saying hello, family. She's also saying, so glad to be here with everyone today. Thank you. I hope you have your questions, because today, we're asking a blind guy, what questions do you have for us? Sid, the cool kid, Antoine says, good morning, everyone. Hey there, cool kid. So Antoine, Sydney, hope you're listening in today. Hope you got some questions for us today, or, just hang out and listen in. Hey, Phil is in the house saying grand day, y'all.
PWJ in the house. How are you doing, PWJ?
What you choking on, the pollen?
Water.
You choking on water or allergies?
Both.
So Corey has allergies. Lots of times he'll have water here.
Yeah, I just took a chewable allergy pill and it's caught up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the seasonal allergies, they do help with, it helps you to get honey, like the local honey that used to help. We haven't had any in a while though, so we have to get back more.
Get back on that pony.
Yes. Hey there, Juliet Umbali is live. Hey.
Juliet in the house. Juliet, you are the East, and the sun is the East, and Juliet is the sun. I jacked that all the way up.
Don't worry, it's not important.
Shakespeare ain't important.
Corey is the playwright here.
Romeo and Juliet. How about that one?
So she says, hello, beautiful people, all the way from South Africa. Juliet has a great channel as well. If you're trying to figure out like what you can appreciate on a daily basis, she has some great editing in her videos. I like the way she does it. So great topics, short and sweet. So you get in there, you get out, and then you're on to another video with her. I love it. David Hunt says, Corey and LaQuita sitting in the tree.
SMOK.
Right.
I'm not gonna give away the sneak peek on that.
He says, love the tree climbing video. I'm sure you do. And Real Talk with Ntabi is saying, hey, listen to him talking about meatballs. He saw meatballs on that plate, he didn't see the macaroni.
He saw the meatballs. You guessed wrong, David.
Well, actually, though, that whole plate, it was plant-based. So there were meatballs on that plate that were plant-based. There was macaroni. Phil says, that's really nice. Yak. Talking about your cup.
Nah, not today. Not today. It ain't Friday yet.
Well, Corey, I say it ain't Friday. You know what? Now you're giving away all the secrets. I say we indulge David Hunt with the 5-minute story time.
David actually is one of the ones that sparked this conversation today, the Q&A, because he asked the question when LaQuita showed the video of me climbing a tree. How did I get in the tree in the first place? So we're going to actually give you the inside scoop to answer David's question and give you more insight about me as a person and LaQuita as my wife.
Yes. Now, keep in mind that we are going to share a screen with you in order to do that, because just today on our channel, we published a video to answer David Hunt's question. I was in David Hunt's live this morning. He was talking about this video. He was like, I asked the question. I wonder if there's an answer to that. So that means that when you go to our YouTube channel, Blind Guy, his wife, they're live. You know how to get there, guys. It looks bright and refreshing, I'm sure, because we have new channel art. So when you get there,
I wonder who did that.
I don't know who did that. Was it
some lady from South Africa?
A fantastic lady. It wasn't Juliet. It was actually, you guys know, Real Talk with Ntabi.
Just messing with the Ntabi.
Yes. So this video was just posted today. How a blind guy climbs a tree. So we're going to share a little bit of this with you. As part of our April vlogs, we actually started this last month, but editing is a beast. And if you don't know, now you know. So right now, Corey, it's loading up. And so just to give you guys some insight on what happens in this video, for our 5-minute story time, we're not going to share the whole entire 5 minutes of the video because it's very short. You can actually go check it out after this. Don't go right now. After this broadcast, go and check it out. And what happens in this particular episode is, Corey, the last episode, we were in a tree doing a video. I was trying not to drop the gimbal. I was trying not to bust Corey in the head.
You did bust me in the head.
Oh yeah, I did. All of those things. And so, in the comments of that video, that's where David Hunt asked, how did Corey even get into the tree? Because we showed him getting out of the tree. We didn't exactly show him.
I'm Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I do whatever Spider-Man.
Right. So I'm going to go back to this, sharing this with you guys. So that way.
The intro.
Oh, you have to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
It's time for today's 5-minute story about blind guys climbing trees.
All right, let's go for it. Let us know if you guys can hear it. Let us know in the chat.
Here we are answering the question that David Hunt asked. He was like, hey, how does a blind guy get into a tree? How does that work?
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of A Blind Guy,
His wife.
Their Life. And we're here to out on a limb once again to show you or talk about two things that most people think that blind people shouldn't do or wouldn't do or couldn't do for this episode of April Vlogs.
Blah, blah, blah. Hey,
That's our kids doing that
like,
intro,
share,
guys.
subscribe.
If you saw the episode of us when we were talking about 5 things I missed being a blind person, I was up in the tree with LaQuita Marie, and people were asking, like, David Hunt, how did you get up in the tree if you can't see? Well, it's real easy. I thankfully lost some weight, and so I have this part of the tree right there.
Stump on the tree.
The stump of a branch.
Okay.
Then I got this big branch behind me that I'm going to get up on.
All right.
And I'm going to show you all my wonderful upper body strength.
Oh, and you just got in just like that.
And I just swung myself on and had a seat in the tree. Nice comfortable seat in the tree. Another thing people are surprised about when they find out what I like to do is I always like to smoke my pipe. It's not something I do every day, but it's something I do just to relax or when I'm having a good day. I just like to enjoy my pipe. So I have here a nice pouch that my wife bought me to keep all my pipe supplies.
I bought that from Cam Kelly
And Kelly, I show Cam Kelly
of the day program.
So I'm gonna get my pipe out and I'll hold it up. This pipe was purchased from Pure Legos. It comes from Nigeria. It's got an image on it. What's that image again, LaQuita?
It's a face, actually.
It's the face of a person, a man, right?
Yes.
So I'm a left corner of my mouth smoker. Doesn't make a difference. So I take my pipe. I usually hang it on my mouth while I get the tobacco.
There's somebody riding a bike in the background, Corey.
There's nothing illegal.
Yeah, we got that from a local cigar shop.
Yep. Now the way that I load my pipe,
Most people say fill a pipe.
pipe bowl in the side of the bag so I don't drop tobacco leaves. And I just sprinkle a little in first. That might look like a lot to a lot of people, but it wasn't. Now I usually do a full bowl. So the next group, I push it down and tap in a little bit so it's a little more packed. Then I do the same thing with the next pinch. That was more than a pinch. That's just gonna fill me all the way up. Not quite, but I think that's good enough.
We're about to end this video, Corey, in just about 15 seconds.
My tobacco bag is fold and rolled it. Put it back in the pouch that LaQuita Marie purchased for me. Now, this is the tricky part. When I have to light the pipe, most times I can get it. It's not too windy. So the way that I do it is I pack my tobacco in a little bit tighter than most people probably would so that I can make sure it doesn't fall because I tilt it sideways.
Towards the lighter. Wait, you got stuff hanging out of there.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because if it's hanging around from the side, Corey, it's gonna burn up. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
and then it'll light on fire and then burn.
See,
you.
Corey never
I
listens to
do it
me.
all the time by myself when I'm with the girls at the park. But just to make LaQuita happy today, I'm gonna put it all in as best I can. There we go.
All right, guys, that's all you get. That is it. That is all. That does answer a couple of good questions. A lot of people wonder, like, does Corey smoke a pipe? And, Altupon, the Talking Drums Edutainment is saying, this is good stuff.
So yeah, so today we're going to spend time with you. We're going to answer some questions. If you have any questions, put them in the chat.
I like the little faces popping up.
He said that.
Atupana Talking Drums Edutainment.
We will be answering those questions as we move along. And also we'll be talking to you about our campaign 25 for 25 as we move forward, so that you can find all the opportunities that you have to be part of Blind Guy His Wife, their life.
So yes, we've got a lot of announcements, guys, a lot of great things. But of course, today is your turn to ask questions from a blind guy. So go ahead, Corey. What were you going to say about that?
As of this year, 2021, I've been blind for 25 years, hence the first 25 of the campaign. And then we've set 25 goals for us. So 25 for 25 goals for this year, 25th year of me being a blind person. A lot of the things that we do, a lot of you may know or don't know, don't know.
I feel talking about that bomb exploding. Like your pipe would actually it's going to be a big fire, like a bonfire from a pipe.
Right.
Why are you laughing? How silly it is, right?
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, our kids are like, that little, they're laughing, talking about that little clip was nice. You know what? Go ahead, Corey, the 25 for 25.
Right, so ever since 1998, LaQuita and I have been the founding lead teaching artists and co-founders and artistic directors of Attain Entertainment. And we traveled quite a bit with that, and we've met lots of different people in all the audiences that we performed for. They always have different questions that they like to ask, but sometimes they're afraid to ask, or sometimes they'll have somebody else ask for them. But we always encourage people, please ask questions. If you want to know something about somebody that's blind, feel free and feel comfortable to ask, especially if you know it. So what are one of some of the popular questions that we get asked?
All right, guys. So we are going to just jump right in, and we are going to start with answering your questions. Now, here's one question that people don't know if they should ask. They don't know how to ask it. So the first question is, how did Corey lose his sight?
There I was.
So we're going to answer that question right now.
There I was at the Battle of Gettysburg.
This sounds like a tall tale.
On the top of Little Round Top.
AKA a lie.
When all of a sudden, me and Snoop Dogg came under heavy fire. Snoop Dogg said, "Look out, Izzle, my dude Izzle.
I'm gonna time
in
this.
Come Izzles, some bullet tizzles." And the Black Panther showed up out of nowhere. And one of the bullets ricocheted off his chest.
Y'all let me know when the time is up.
Just kidding, y'all. No, I tell that story because a lot of times people think it's some dramatic, drastic injury story. Like, what's some things they normally think?
People always think that, it's funny, they never really say what they thought, but they laugh the loudest when you say, "I got shot," which to me tells me
that was a common question. What happened? You got shot?
People always think you got shot. Like, you black, you got shot, right? Like, you had an injury. Like, what happened? They don't think about like you got in a car accident or whatever. So the way Corey really lost his sight, and yes, we've got Q&A. Our Talking Drums Edutainment says, "Ooh la la, Q&A." And David Hunt was laughing from earlier. Pretty dramatic if you're trying to be like in the Old West. Talking Drums Edutainment, absolutely. So here's the truth of how Corey lost his sight. He actually got sick. He was in high school and then graduated the year after high school. He was in X-ray school, and this is where the headache started. He was, I can see you pointing this way, Corey. So anyways, he started getting headaches. He started getting pressure on his optic nerve. He didn't know that was causing the headaches. That's what the doctors figured out. So then you got blurred vision, tunnel vision. They were doing different procedures to try to save your vision.
Yeah, the first procedure they did was putting incisions in my optic nerve sheath to just kind of let the fluid drain out and be absorbed within my, sounds gross, but my sinus cavities.
Oh yeah, they did say it would make your sinuses worse, like your sinus drainage. Like, you already had like a bunch of issues with your sinuses, blocked sinuses and things like that.
Right.
And they said this would make it worse. And it did it?
It did, because I would always end up getting sinus infections, and a couple times it led to double ear infections, and that's not good when you can't see and halfway hear. That's a pretty bad combination. But ironically, I did find that for a month, I took a teaspoonful of vinegar every morning, and with a little bit of water, and it actually, I had nasal polyps, and those nasal polyps went shrunk, and my sinus.
Because you don't have those issues.
I only have issues now when we have extreme temperature changes, or if it's pollen season.
Allergy season like now.
Yep.
Yeah. So the real way you lost your sight is you just got sick. It was not a paper football injury like Phil says.
No, it wasn't a paper football injury. I played a real football. But no,
yeah, Corey played real football when he could see. He was a big football player, a fan of football, still is. He's been a coach of football since he's been blind. But all of those different things they were trying to do to save your eyesight, it just didn't work. Right. And they figured out that it was pseudotumor cerebri, false tumor on the brain, where you have this increased pressure and damage.
And get this, guys, that condition is usually associated with white women over the age of 40 who are overweight.
Yeah, and
Corey at that time, I only had the overweight part. But I didn't have the other things.
Yeah, Corey was young. He was only 19 years old at that time.
Never been white. Never been a woman. So I should have went to Vegas and bucked the odds on that one.
Right. So our kids are laughing. And Valerie, hello there, Valerie. Valerie Singleton is saying hello there. How you doing today? So good to see you. Drop a question in the chat if you have a question for how blind people get things done, or what's it like being a blind person in this instance or that instance, like shopping, going to the store, going to work, getting a job. We've done it all. Raising children, having your children by yourself at home, because Corey's mom thought like, oh no, and other people, now this is his mom, other people thought it too, but his mom was like, oh no, you're home alone with the babies, so that was with the first one.
She was trying to use that as an excuse to come over, that's all.
And so she could be with them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so Atumpan the Talking Drums Edutainment says, so basically it was like different stages, like blurry vision and then something else, then completely black.
Exactly. What ended up happening was it started off with the headaches and the blurred vision. They did the optic nerve sheath incision surgery, and I'll say that was like late September, and everything was going fine. I was on prednisone, which is a steroid that helps with inflammation.
Helps to reduce
inflammation, and it actually was working. And then once
your vision was getting better?
My vision was getting better. My peripheral vision was increasing.
Because at one point, when we say tunnel vision, it was like a horse with those blinders on in a horse race. You couldn't see to either side.
Right. I couldn't see anything to either side. So it's getting better. But once I came off of the prednisone steroids to stop the inflammation, the headaches came back, the nausea came back. I had lost an extreme amount of weight, and the tunnel vision started to increase again, and so I was having more tunnel vision, more blurred vision. So they rushed me into the hospital, and they put this VP shunt.
Corey does not have a haircut very much right now, so you can't really see that lump on the side of his head.
Yeah, my mobile barber, he's got his van is being undergoing some renovations right now.
Yeah. However, if you go to our channel where Corey was in the tree smoking that pipe, the video that we were sharing with you earlier, then you might see the top of his head where there's a lump. I think in this video, Corey, you had a haircut. We could see, that lump, but that lump is a surgical implant, is all we're saying. So of course that's Corey. Oh, guys, just so you know, this is not wacky anything. This is just tobacco smoke.
Yeah, it's not the wacky. It's just the tobacco. Who asked that question?
Nobody asked that question. However, Sid the Cool Kid Antoine did say, how long does it take for you to remember a person by their voice? And hello, they're watching. The Hawks is in the house saying tuna checky. I don't know if that's another language. Please interpret for us if you can translate, because there are so many languages that we appreciate on this channel. We tell everybody, hey, speak your language. We'll figure it out. You'll translate. One of our kids will look it up. So here's the question, Corey. Sid the Cool Kid Antoine. How long does it take for you to remember a person by their voice?
I would say about a good month of very frequent interactions. So, for example, if I meet you on the 1st of the month and then I don't see you again to the 15th.
Oh, Corey, the time ran out. Let me turn this back over. You got 5 minutes or less to answer.
If I meet you the 1st of the month and I meet you on the 5th and I see you again on the 15th of the month and I see you again on the 30th of the month, that's not going to do it. But let's say, I work with you or we're in rehearsal together. Usually within 2 to 3 weeks, I start to recognize your voice.
To me, it's sooner. You think it takes that long?
Because it takes about 2 to 3 weeks, because sometimes especially in a group setting, some people's voices sound the same.
Yeah, they do.
So I can get people confused, but Some people have very distinct voices. So like David Hunt, who has a very distinct voice, who is trying to charm people. And he sounds like he's ready to do a news broadcast or a quiet storm. So I can hear David Hunt's voice, you know, anytime, like I said, and I said, oh, that's David. He called me on the phone. I would know that unless he changed his voice. You know, PWJ, he has a very
well, that's my, I mean, come on, like we've known him for a long time. We've heard his voice is distinct, you know, so definitely. So we have another question here.
Sure.
Real Talk with Ntabi says, Corey, what kept you going and made you look forward to still achieving your goals after losing your sight? Start pointing this way, Corey.
What made me?
It was me.
What made me? What was the question? I forgot because.
See, now you forgot.
Interference over here.
See,
what was the question?
Corey.
I really forgot. I was going to go back and answer the Oxen Pond question. As far as what I can see, I woke up in the hospital. I forgot to answer that part. I did wake up in the hospital. So after the first surgery in September, at the end of October, I had another surgery to put the shunt in. And we thought it was going to be the answer, but I was in the hospital for 3 days. And on the second day, I woke up in the hospital. I was like, Mom, can you turn on the lights? And she was like, Corey, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. The sun is shining into the room. And that was the day I woke up in darkness. And so people ask me, well, what can you see? What do you see? I say, well.
People are always so hopeful. They want you to be able to see. You know, they're always like, can't you see shadows? Well, what if I turn on the lights, especially little kids? You know, it's always so cute.
They hold it up close. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
You need your glasses? I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's so funny when little kids offer glasses. Like, what you know about glasses? But
to answer that question, I see black. Everything I see is black.
Pitch black. And the way you describe the black
is like you take the darkest midnight with no stars, no moon, and then put duct tape over your eyes, super glue over that, and some black patches, and it's still not gonna be dark enough for you. So the way I describe it is just I see black, and all y'all are out there. Whenever I meet you, everybody's black folks. Welcome to Wakanda.
So back to Ntabi's question then, what kept you going and made you look forward to still achieving your goals after losing your sight?
What kept me going is
David Hunt is talking about class storm.
Really faith, family, and friends. Like I said, you know, just LaQuita was a champion cheerleader. She was like, you know, I remember when I started to go to college, I knew I had to do something. I wanted to do something, but what it was I wanted to do, I didn't know.
Well, Corey was already in X-ray school, so he was already in a program to finish radiology.
I was almost finished. I was like a semester away from finishing.
And so you had to stop that program and go to college, like university. It's just a different university.
Right.
And that's where you went to a 4-year institution.
Right. I went to the Rehab Center for the Blind to learn how to use my JAWS talking computer software so that I could access information and type papers and learn about other adaptive equipment for blind people. And, you know, I was going to go to university, but I was scared because I was like, you know, let me start off at a community college first. So I took a couple of community college classes. And then the week before I was set to go to the 4-year university, the big campus, I was really nervous and afraid. And LaQuita said, Corey, the same dummies that was in community colleges are the same dummies sitting in the university classes. You'll be fine. And I was like, yeah, it's good. I said, wait a minute now. I was one of those dummies sitting in the class. So what are you trying to say?
Hey,
but yeah, but
Valerie's laughing out loud.
LaQuita, you know, she was always there, always encouraging me. And my parents, especially my father. My father was champion and cheerleader for me. He's like, what do you want to do? If you want to do it, we're going to do it. We're going to try it.
So Corey's dad would go to classes with him in the beginning because even though there's mobility training, and this is one of those other things that people think that like they want blind people to be okay, or they want deaf people to be okay. They want people in a wheelchair to be okay. They want people with a mental, cognitive challenge to be okay.
Like PWJ.
So what they always say is like, you know, oh, okay, you had mobility training, which means they taught you how to get around the school. So, okay, great. The blind guy can go get around, but his dad would go to school with him to be sure that he could navigate the halls.
Because when they do mobility training, they do it on the day where there's nobody in the hallways or in the classroom. That doesn't prepare you for 400 people going out the lecture hall. So, but again, LaQuita was there. My parents were there.
I'm going to turn this over, guys. This fancy timer. It's a 5-minute timer, just so that you know. So we're going to put this here. Of course, we're going to answer the next questions with this timer.
Just having belief in myself and knowing that I had talents to give and gifts to give to the world, and they weren't going to get shared if I was sitting there in the house feeling sorry for myself. So those are some of the things that kept me going, in brief. It's a long story.
Yeah, because there were so many people that were on your side. So at that time, yeah, Corey's grandmother was still alive, and she was very encouraging. She would come and hang out with Corey. Is that when you got hooked on the stories, Young and the Restless, or before that? Oh, okay. All right. So, anyways, David Hunt has a question. Oh no, you know what? You know who has a question also? Sid the Cool Kid. Antoine says,
Cool Kid.
yes. Do you do memory exercises to stay sharp? No, he don't listen to me. Let me tell you, if Corey would listen to me, his memory would stay so sharp.
That's my brain is fried now from listening to her. Short circuited. Now I've always had I don't know why, but even as a kid, I always had a very sharp memory.
True.
And like I never studied for tests when I was in school, and then my mother would just bug out without bring home A's and B's, and she's like, I don't know how you do it without cracking books. It's like, I read it.
I think it's life. Like Corey had a really great childhood where, he was an only child, but he had a lot of cousins, and they lived a different lifestyle than him. So Corey at home, he had a lot of friends on the street. They could go out, they could play.
And I gotta be in the street.
No. What I mean is that like there were adults outside, so you could pop wheelies, you could learn how to, what do you call it when you skid your bike and you like hit the brakes and then you spin out or whatever?
I never had a name for it.
Well, anyways, he was a kid that was outside with lots of friends, lots of adults to guide him. And then when he went with his cousins, they had a different lifestyle. That's where Corey could swing an axe. He could raise hogs. He could shoot rifles. He could start fires. And that's why when you were telling me in that video, like, look, I know how the tobacco pipe burns because my grandfather smoked a pipe.
Not my grandma, uncle.
Oh yeah, your uncle smoked a pipe. And he had lots of uncles, lots of cousins. And so
the rule down there was not don't play with guns. It was don't shoot towards the house.
Right. And so I mentioned Corey's childhood because, a lot of learning happens. It's like implicit learning. When you have a diverse lifestyle, you just learn more. And I feel like those are the things that really help to keep Corey's memory sharp. So he doesn't do memory exercises. And David Hunt wants to know, I don't know if this question has been asked yet, and it hasn't, David, just so that you know, how long have you been performing together? Great question. Since 1998 is when we started Attain.
Actually, it started when we started dating because both of us are fools. We take some.
We've been cutting up since we've been together, like 29 years now.
We could actually be in the kitchen making a sandwich and turn that into a whole comedy skit and be entertaining ourselves. And then before you know it, we drafted other people playing roles, and we've always been performers in our own right. But officially, as teaching artists at Attain, it's been since 1998.
Since 1998, yes, because like I said, we've been together for 29 years. We'll be married 21 years this month, and then stop looking sad. And then we've been performing together since 1998. So together we formed Attain Edutainment. Then we started telling stories, just the two of us, Corey and myself, and a friend of ours, Mike Jenkins. That was one of the childhood friends that Corey grew up with. And then we added a dance theater. And then even now, it's grown into adding Blind Guy, his wife, their life. So because that is a part of the nonprofit as well. XDMC, you know what?
You with MCC.
You know how you said don't shoot towards the house? He's talking about, I thought the rule was don't shoot until you see the whites.
XDMC, that's the rule in New York. That was the rule in New York.
When you see the whites of their eyes, that's how you know they're close enough. You can make contact.
David Hunt from Massachusetts knows about that. Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes. That was from the Revolutionary War. Booyaka.
Well, Corey, you know how we were saying that you lived on a street, and you said it wasn't a dirt road, but Phil says that you had a path, not a street. So, hey, I don't know if you were in the woods. And also, Phil says you were the lead dummy.
I know. That's what she made it sound like. I don't even be the dumbest one walking the same dumbest in this class. The same dumbest going to that class. Like, okay. I felt good for like 5 seconds. I was like, wait a minute.
You knew what I meant. He knew what I meant. Well, our Watoto Blind Guy, his wife, their life is saying, hello, everyone. Hello, Watoto.
Hello, children.
Yes. And so, and Tavi is saying, thank you for that beautiful story. You both are an inspiration. Stay blessed. I appreciate that. Valerie wants to know, and I don't know if David Hunt was talking about when you were talking about shooting the gun when you see the whites of their eyes. He's like, for sure. But anyways, let me answer Valerie's question. What type of adaptive equipment do you use to navigate day-to-day life?
Well, I have a lot of, when it comes to information, I use a computer, and it's a regular laptop, but it has a program on it by Freedom Scientific called JAWS.
And we do have a video of that on our
How
channel.
blind guys do it.
Yes, do IT is what it's supposed to be, but it looks like how blind guys do it.
And so it answers.
Biggie said, "Shoot first, ask questions
Who said that?
last." Phil.
Phil, yeah, that's that west side of Camelot coming out of him.
Thank you, David. This is our last 5 minutes, guys. The time is expired. Thank you, David, for being timekeeper. I appreciate that. All right, Corey, so back to adaptive equipment, and then we also have another question as well from David Hunt.
So like I said, I use a talking software called JAWS that's a screen reader. So it reads, I would say 85% of what's on the screen. It does not read pictures. Of course, you can't read a picture unless it has a caption. But it allows me to check emails. It allows me to go on the internet. It allows me to type. When I was in college, direct type papers. When I'm doing play script writing for Heightened Entertainment, I use Microsoft Word. I can use an Excel spreadsheet. So JAWS is pretty much how I do get information, access information, even for simple things like when we want to take the girls, they want to see a certain movie. I'll look up the movie description to see, no, it's a little rough. We won't watch that one. Or, oh yeah,
because it reads to you, so you can really. Corey doesn't really use an electronic anything as far as a calculator for his money. He keeps his fives and his ones separate.
Yeah,
and so that too. Yeah, I was gonna say on our channel, this particular video, how blind guys do IT, is that's
how blind guys do
it. So that does talk about Corey. It showed we were screen sharing, so we were kind of showing how you answer emails. We were showing how we use JAWS and all of those things. So definitely go check out that video.
Have you ever been on our show, like Real Talk with Untitled, David Hunt, XDMC? Any of you guys have been on our show? I was the one corresponding with you through emails and through the calendar invite. So I like I said, LaQuita does the bulk of the work when it comes to tech work and things of that nature. I don't do any tech work other than I communicate with the guests and organize the guests.
So we plan our videos and all of that stuff. Corey does organize the guests. And our Watoto says, when JAWS pronounces names wrong, it's funny. The talking software.
Yes, it called Ntabi Nfabi. Let's see, it calls XDMC exclusive.
He has a question also. And he also says, I feel sorry for any married man whose hearing is more heightened than usual.
Brother, you just say it again for the folks in the back. God knows I can't turn it off.
So of course, Phil is laughing. Hey there, Sonia with the Y. She says, sorry, just getting here, appointments and all that. Hello, all.
Just click the green coffee cup. Click.
Yeah, so she is a vocalist, guys, Sonia with the Y. We've experienced her on this channel. So Corey, we have a little bit of time left on the clock because we still have to give them our 5 goals as part of our 25 for 25 campaign before we wrap it up.
Right.
So XDMC says, have you found that your other senses have become even more heightened? And this is also a popular question. After you lose your sight, people think that you can hear better or that you're feeling things is better. And I feel like Corey's feeling is better because he will step on stuff and not be afraid. And I will step on like a kernel of popcorn or a popped popcorn. And I'm like, oh, a bug. And Corey's chilling.
So that has nothing to do with being blind. That's just living in the country, walking around barefoot. So, so you get used to
certain things. When you're shooting guns, right, dogs and all that. Okay.
Yeah, you start to understand certain things. Ain't nothing. But yeah, so to answer your question, a lot of people think that because of the popular comic book character Daredevil, which sometimes I do refer to myself as Daredevil just in a humorous way. I really don't, your senses don't get any more heightened. You just learn to pay attention to them more because you don't have a chance. So you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice to pay attention to it. So, I used to be a very heavy sleeper, but because I rely more on my hearing now, I'm a very light sleeper. I hear things that I don't want to hear sometimes. And so people for some reason think that because I'm blind, I can't hear. So they whisper things.
Well, no, they just talk low around you. They don't even bother to whisper because you know what I mean? Like they're doing those loud whispers because they're thinking, okay, he can't hear me or he can't see me. I'll just talk soft, but not really whisper.
And then, or they go the opposite direction. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So I get that extreme as well. But no, my senses aren't heightened. I just use them more often, so therefore I'm more in tune with them.
Yeah, and I will say that our Watoto is asked. I hope we answered your question,
XDC, these sisters right here, going completely out.
Anyways, Blind Guy's Wife, they're like, our Watoto is saying goal 1. They're already on the 25 for 25 campaign. They got their goals on the screen. Goal 1, go to Ghana. Goal 2, have the best time of our lives in Ghana.
Well, that was a shameless self-promotion towards your parents, but thank you very much, Watoto.
Yes, so guys, we do want to mention our 25 for 25. That means that
these are opportunities for you to continue to be part of the family. I don't want to say team, you make you part of the family. Blind Guy's Wife, their life. You're going to be part of our life. And these are ways this gives you an opportunity to do just that. So
yeah, we've got 5 goals. Number 1, 2,500 new subscribers quarterly. So guys, that's where you come in because goal number 2 is 25 shares per episode. That means if everybody here shares this somewhere, we'll probably get new subscribers. More people can find this information. We hope it's helpful. We hope it's helping someone somewhere. And number 3, 25 interviews with different African countries. That means we've interviewed people from Zambia recently. We've interviewed people from South Africa recently, Ghana recently as well. Also the Gambia people that have visited and come back and things like that. So, hey, we want to get more African countries in there where we interview people from. So that's one of our 25 goals. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but so far, the top 3 are free to you. We don't want to tax anyone or make anyone feel like, hey, come join the team, pay an offering. These are tithes. Nope, join the team. It is free. Free 99. So number 4, 2,500 views per episode. That comes from the like button.
And the sharing.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. It actually does help other people to find this info. And 2,500 watch hours quarterly. That means when you're hanging out with us, when you're watching the show, hey, the watch time goes up. And so that definitely helps for other people. It tells the YouTube algorithm to tell other folks to come and watch the show. So those are 5 of our 25 goals.
So basically, bum rush the button.
Yes, so that means you can also hashtag 25 for 25. I thought I turned my phone off. Can you hear it? Was it ringing for you?
Me? Yeah, I heard it. Yep.
Okay. Because Corey's phone talks, because he can't see, we have the disability feature on so that he can hear it. I usually turn my volume all the way down because I always have my headset in. So guys, don't worry, I can hear. But the reason why I was asking Corey is because I always hear it in my ear. I'm not sure if everybody is hearing it here as well. I think that the volume's down now. Guess who's here, Corey?
Who's that?
Well, we
guess one of the LONS and the Tribe Called Quest, East Coast to West, East. Oh, sorry.
Coach Remy says greetings.
Coach Remy in the house.
Workout home with Coach Remy. So guys, it's a great workout channel. If you want to work your body, work your brain, because that's what I usually do, sit down and watch instead of getting up and working out with him. Go
Next
there.
DMC has a great YouTube channel as well, Barnstorming Productions. Check out his YouTube website.
Absolutely. Go there because he's an editor, a filmmaker, and all those good things. Yep. Also, Kuwaito Global is here. So hopefully I said that right, because I think you're in South Africa and I might have pronounced that wrong. And hey, thank you so much. Workout Home with Coach Remy says you're on a great mission. First time watching your live stream, says Kuwaito Global. Thank you for being here.
You have time, you can ask us a question.
So we are closing down, but if you have a question, any last minute questions, we will entertain them, because we know that part of our goals was watch time, but we don't want to overdo it if the people have had their fill. So of course, if you have a question about being blind, what it's like to be blind, we did already answer, how did Corey lose his sight? He got sick. Long story short, it was a freak thing.
Damage to the optic nerve pressure.
Yeah.
Cerebral pressure from the brain.
He wasn't in an accident or anything.
I didn't get shot.
Didn't get shot. And then we also answered, what can Corey see? And nothing. He does not see shadows or lights or objects or movements or flashes of light.
Everybody's a Wakandan.
Everybody is just black. Everything is black. It's just black. He says it's like the darkest black and all of those things. And so we've been answering your questions today. So if you have any final questions, drop them in the chat. Kuwaito Global says, it's great to be here. Well, thank you for just being here. We do appreciate that. And Real Talk with Ntabi says, I love the watch time goals. Let's keep watching. watching and smashing the like and share button. You know what? She's just tongue-tied me all together there.
Keep watching. Everybody, yes, keep watching, but keep watching.
Boom. Hit the like button, share button, all of those things. And oh, you know what? Workout Home with Coach Remy, that intro is on point about me. That's what he said. He said, LaQuita, that intro is on point about me. You know, I was like, if you want to get your life right, go to Workout Home with Coach Remy. You know, you can get your best life. You can watch, work your brain, work your life. You know, he's plant-based also. Oh, you know what? Oh, we did have a question from XDMC about being plant-based. I'm sorry, from David Hunt. He said, what led you to start the plant-based lifestyle and the plant-based treats? So I have forgotten about that question. Thank you so much, David Hunt. You know, the plant-based lifestyle got started because I've always been a food person. I've always loved to eat and cook. And so last year, when the pandemic came, I started watching more YouTube because we were studying on how to start our channel, what we were going to really, how we would get started, what we would talk about. And I said, this would be a great time to also showcase our food. But a lot of food things were coming up on the timeline, specifically about plant-based lifestyle. So plant-based news, I think, was one of the first channels that I started watching. The Physicians Committee is another one that I started watching, and they were giving so much information about how all of our diseases are curable, preventable, reversible. I had never heard reversible. So Corey's a diabetic, and I've been trying to help him since he was, since we've been married, and he was diagnosed with high blood pressure as a diabetic. His dad suffered with diabetes and all of the effects. And
you have the episode about that on our channel as well.
We do. And so basically I said, wow, reverse. All we have to do is just eat and we can reverse. And it's been working. And so once we saw the results, we really couldn't go back. We started, and also I started watching vegan channels and the food was nasty. And so this is to answer the second part, the plant-based treats. So I don't refer to myself as vegan because vegan people can't cook. Some of those people, I'm not gonna say they can't cook. I'm gonna retract that statement, even though you already heard it. So that's what I really meant. But don't look, guys. Cook it like you've been cooking. Just use plants. Don't go crazy because that's
because you eat collard greens without meat doesn't mean that it has to taste nasty.
Yeah, or the macaroni and cheese, you know, or whatever you're going to eat. So we definitely increased our fruits and vegetables. We feel better. We look better. Our children have seen benefits.
I went from a size 46 down to a size 36 in pants.
But also, you know,
my blood pressure is regulated.
Yeah, and back to Corey smoking his pipe. Corey used to smoke his pipe and his blood pressure was skyrocketing.
Tobacco, not the wacky.
Yes, and then he didn't want to stop smoking. He didn't want to stop smoking it. So it was also.
It sound like I'm just like every day.
No, I mean, but you know, it's like something you do every blue moon.
Right.
Just chilling, going to the park with the kids. You use your pipe as a timer. Ooh, speaking of which, the timer's running down, and we have another question. So yeah, the plant-based treats. When we figured out how to cook and make food delicious, we said, hey, let's give plant-based treats to other people as well.
Blood pressure one time was 198 over like 120 something. It was ridiculously high.
Yes.
And so I was able to not take medicine just because by changing my lifestyle and going plant-based. So now my blood pressure hovers in the normal range even after I enjoyed my pipe.
So we do have a few, yes, absolutely. And we do have a few other questions. David Hunt is saying, you're so right. I don't know if he meant with the nasty food from vegans, but
David makes puzzle shucks.
Right. And so Kuwaitso says, I see you've been watching and contributing on my channel. I truly appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. You're welcome. You know, it's a community out here, so we've got to pour into each other. And so Up Close with Nshabo says, you guys are very inspiring. She has a wonderful channel as well. Kuwaitso Go Global, guys, go there because his channel, this morning, he had a live stream saying, what did it say? Sex is, that's all I'll tell you. And Up Close with Nshabo.
I know that's right.
She has great topics. She's a young lady that has great topics on her channel as well about lifestyle. She was shopping recently, but she was also talking about body image, self-esteem, all of those good things. So it's a community out here, guys. Valerie wants to know, does Corey ever help you in the kitchen? I'm going to answer that short and sweet with a no, and then I'll go to Shay TBD.
She lying.
No, well,
I
he
wash
helps
the
me.
dishes.
No, Corey actually is the dishwasher. He tastes the food, but before he lost his sight, he wasn't a cook. He couldn't cook. I already loved it. Yeah, so like you still like make sandwiches, warm up food for the kids and for yourself and things like that. You make tea for me, but you don't cook. And in the kitchen, I don't want anybody there. Honestly, I'm like, y'all get out of here. No. Then y'all see me. I'm like, y'all get out of here.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
Okay, that's when the camera's on. Okay.
Shay TVT says, has there been any opportunities for site studies, any techie stuff to attempt to repair your site? So Shay is a tech person. That's why she asked this question.
I've been asked that question, and
oh wait, I think David was saying yes when about the vegan food being nasty. But if you just go ahead on and just get better recipes, it doesn't have to be.
Especially if you cook like from a lot of the African recipes, the Caribbean recipes. A lot of those are plant-based, start out plant-based anyway. If you just add meat to it, so if you start out with some of those recipes and seasoning, you're gonna hit a home run every time anyway. So.
Yeah. So Corey is, you know what? Ever since this is going back to the question from Shay TBD, tech stuff. Corey is not really into being a test dummy. But that's a bad way to make it sound.
I'll leave that to PWJ. But yeah, you're right.
That's the way he feels. He feels like, I feel like I would be a test dummy if I let he wants to make sure everybody else has proven it first. Like the bionic eye, he's like, I'm not going to be in the first 100 people to try that out. The first 1,000, the first 5,000. I need to see this for a few years.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when it needs to be updated.
And that's any technology. Yeah, right. Any technology.
People talking about, they got cars that can drive. No, sir, not the kid. Because
hold on, Corey. Okay. There were two cars about to hit each other. Okay, go ahead.
If the GPS runs out and loses a signal, I don't want to be going across the bridge and making the news that night. So yeah, I'm not overly anxious to try any of the new tech stuff. But if they find something that's proven and it really works and it works for a couple of years or 4 or 5 years and there's no ill effects, which sometimes don't pop up until 20 years later, yeah, I would try it. But like I said, I'm not racing to be a test subject for that. I'm too skeptical.
Yeah, so we have not been a part of any studies. We do keep up with what's happening so that we know what options are out there. And we also are very interested in natural healing forces as well. Palm being one of them. So that's been one of the things that we've been studying. You know, like they have Palm Sunday, but those palm fronds are not just for waving. There's a lot of research and studies and on palm oil, palm wine, palm fronds, like all of the palm is useful. And so definitely you can do more research on that as well. You know, there's something I said earlier and Coach Remy said how close, and I forgot what part he was saying that for. We were talking about something and he says how close.
You can get some clarity on that one, Coach Remy, because I want to know exactly what you're talking about now. I'm curious.
I know, but hey, Arwatoto are reminding you to smash that like button and to the ground. Boom, 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 boom. And they're also telling on me, saying she yells at us if we're in the kitchen and she's trying to cook.
Keep the business in the other house, please.
Man, guys, I'm in the kitchen about 8 hours a day, just so that you know, I love it. It's my sweet spot. I love it. Not all at once, but I can be there like 2 hours or 3 hours at a time, you know, and then I go back and I cook 2 to 3 meals a day, and we eat out quite a bit. Plant-based eating out. We were just eating out last night.
What y'all got? Near restaurant
called Yen Diddy.
Diddy here in our hometown. Oh my gosh. It was like we fell into Ghana by enjoying food.
Yes. And so, that's what it is. Sex is not a sin. Quaito Global. That's what he said.
Sex is not what?
Sin. That was the name of his video.
You got that right.
And so, thank you for that clarity.
It's only a sin when you ain't having it.
Anyways, Quaito also says, I would love to have a live stream session with you and your husband, so you share your story with my audience as well. Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
He says, I'd love to know what happened to Corey. What keeps you going? Absolutely, we can talk about that. And Phil says, I treasure my role, Corey.
What role?
You know,
ROLL or
ROLE.
Oh, okay.
But you probably did mean ROLL, as in dinner roll,
right.
Sweet roll,
jelly roll.
Cinnamon roll, jelly roll. Yeah, he loves those rolls as well. I know Phil. Ari Watoto are saying yes. Yen Diddy's was bussin'. So
bussin', smack, banging.
Right. So, Corey, we've got to get to our final segment, our plant-based treat. We've been talking about food. We've been talking about cooking. We've been talking about, new restaurants and all of those good things. And of course, I will drop into the chat what you see scrolling down at the bottom. blindguyhiswife.com. So that way, if you'd like to know a little bit more about us, and we're constantly adding there, I'm still building out that site. So, hey, Shade says, thanks for the techie stuff answer. There's a young Ghanaian studying quantum computing and interested in site studies. I'll keep y'all posted. Thank you. I love that.
So yeah, we appreciate that.
We are interested in those types of things. Like, we're not completely afraid of new things. We'd like to explore them. We'd like to learn about them. Corey just doesn't want to be first.
Right, I don't want to be first. I want to be first to be last.
Listen to Phil talking about the girls can tell. I'm gonna tell it, little girls, when they were singing. I yell at them when they're in the kitchen and I'm cooking.
The quote Buster Rhymes. She's like, raw, raw, like a dungeon dragon.
Anyways, back to our final segment of the day, because guys, we've enjoyed this with you, but we do have our goals, so please be sure to hashtag 25 for 25. I'll put those 5 goals back on the screen. They're all together, but we want 2,500 new subscribers quarterly. And this is just 5 out of the 25. We'll be sharing more as we move forward. 25 shares per episode, 25 interviews from different African countries. It looks like we're on our way. We got a new one with Quaso Global. We'll be on his channel. So, hey, that's much appreciated.
You share our email on the screen so you can get the email.
Oh, yeah, we'll also add that. 2,500 views per episode and 2,500 watch hours quarterly. So guys, these are simple goals, 5 of the 25 simple goals.
And it's free 99. All it costs you is the click of a mouse.
And keep in mind, the reason why we're giving this goal is because Corey has been blind 25 years this year. So that's where that 25 comes from. And so Phil was saying, no, taste tester. That's his role.
That's his role. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much, Valerie Singleton. She says, thank you guys for sharing 25 for 25. Well, thank you for being here. And we got to move forward to...
It's time for today's plant-based treat by Chef LaQuita Marie.
I would think it would be bland and no taste at all, but this is has a great flavor. I mean, what spices did you use? I mean,
Easy, cheesy, vegan mac.
this was good too. Ooh, it's cheesy. It's good. Okay. And see if
All right, so no matter what, you just get some orange and white root vegetables or vegetables so that it takes on the color of macaroni and cheese. You got your yellow and white squash there. There's a yellow squash, butternut squash, bulb of garlic. And this is what the butternut squash looks like. You can get it frozen.
We used the whole head of cauliflower, some chopped up garlic, and 3 onions. Time we added 4 Goya packets and bouillon paste.
Add 1 cup of water and let the vegetables cook until they get soft and tender. Once the vegetables get soft, add the cauliflower and let everything get really soft.
Add 4 or 5 slices of non-dairy Gouda and provolone. They melt and they're creamy. Stir it up and let it get really creamy. To me, you can't taste the vegetables. It just tastes like good flavored food. Taste it and see if it needs salt or seasoning.
2 12-ounce boxes of noodles. No broccoli this time.
Hope you make it. We love it.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today on an episode of
Blind Guy, his wife.
How you gonna say my part? His wife.
Their life live. Remember, continue to join us on this campaign 25 for 25. Hashtagging
25 for 25. I'll put that right on the screen so that you know whenever you comment, if you have a question, put that hashtag in there so that way we see it, we won't miss it. And Coach Remy, earlier he said keeping it simple is the best way. So that's what we're doing here. Keeping it simple. That's what we're doing. So we hope that you join us, guys, on this campaign. And Sonia with the why, I'm going to just ignore her comment talking about Corey. Don't forget my $25.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You said you were going to donate $25 a day for the rest of this year. Thank you, Sonia with the why. She's going to buy 25 coffees every day for the rest of this year.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Coach Remy says looks delicious. Shay says, ooh, yes, looks so yummy. It really was. Those people that were taste testing, they were all meat eaters, like current meat eaters, and we were just meat and dairy eaters, yes. And so we had just gone plant-based like just a couple of months before that video. And so, hey, bye, 25 for 25. That's Real Talk with Ntavi. And our kids are saying, hello, Miss Ntavi. They love the intro.
And guys, tomorrow we're going to answer more questions about what it means to be vision impaired and hard of hearing, because we're going to bring back some people that talk about how they enjoy the performing and fine arts thanks to Access Virginia. You're going to hear the stories of a vision impaired person. Her name is Jackie, and someone who lost their hearing, but now they have restored their hearing through a cochlear implant. But even when they were still deaf, they were able to enjoy going to the opera and to stage plays thanks to Access Virginia. So join us tomorrow on that episode of The Blind Guy,
His wife,
Their Life Live. We'll see you at 11:15 a.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time.
They're still in there chatting. Hey, my sweet girls, love you. Ntavi.
Thank you, Ntavi. Again, and tomorrow we'll definitely have that intro ready to go so you can really see the talent of this young lady we're talking about Real Talk with Ntavi. To say goodbye, we normally just say deuces, but today we're going to say peace sizzle, all my peapizzles.
Hey, deuces.